You're waking up tired again. You went to bed at a reasonable hour. You didn't even stay up that late. But somehow you're sitting here right now, exhausted, before the day has even started. And the most frustrating part, you're doing everything right. The sleep, the water, the supplements, maybe even added a morning walk or some exercise. So what is actually going on? That is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Because I promise you, the answer is not what you've been told. And it's not about trying harder. Hi, I'm Kira Gibson. I'm the founder of Santosha Wellness. I'm a registered dietitian, a licensed marriage and family therapist, and a yoga therapist. And I specialize in working with women who are exhausted in ways that don't show up on lab results. And I can tell you, after years of this work, that the women sitting in my office are anything but lazy. They are not dramatic and they are not making it up. They are truly depleted. And there is a very big difference between the two. If you have ever been told your labs are normal and walked out of a doctor's office more confused than when you walked in, this video is for you. So here's the thing that most people get wrong about fatigue. Oftentimes we think of it as a sleep problem. Well, that can be true sometimes. So we optimize our sleep. And you get the tracker and you cut caffeine after noon. You do the whole routine. All great things. And yet, they still wake up tired. Because persistent fatigue is not about how many hours you sleep. It's about whether your body can actually produce and sustain energy. And that process lives somewhere else entirely. It lives in your nervous system. When your nervous system is in survival mode, your body redirects all of its resources away from repair and towards protection. This slows your digestion, so your nutrients can't be absorbed. Your energy production breaks down at a very cellular level. And no amount of sleep fixes this, because the underlying system never actually got the signal that it was safe to rest. Think of it this way. Your nervous system is asking one question all day, every day. Am I safe? Am I safe? Am I safe? When the answer is yes, then everything flows. Digestion works, nutrients absorb, hormones balance, and you wake up with energy. But when the answer is so often no, even if it's a quiet no happening in the background, the whole system shifts. And that shift has a cascade effect. This shuts down our digestion. And when digestion shuts down, your nutrients can't properly be absorbed. And when our nutrients can't properly be absorbed, the raw materials that your cells need to make energy just simply can't get in. You can eat the most nourishing food in the world, and your body still may not be able to use it. We can take all the best supplements, but if the nervous system is in threat mode, the body won't be able to absorb them. This is why so many women have normal labs but still feel terrible. Because our standard blood panels, they look for disease. They look for whether your numbers clear a certain threshold. They are not actually designed to tell you whether your system is thriving. That's not what they're looking for. You can be technically in a normal range and still be running on empty. And for women in perimenopause especially, this becomes almost impossible to ignore. Because the hormonal shifts of midlife, they don't actually create new problems. What's happening is they're amplifying the places the body was already struggling. It just turns up the volume so it can no longer be ignored. You can't dismiss it anymore. And then there's the brain fog. Because for most of the women I work with, it's not just the body that's tired. It's also your mind. And the two almost always come together. And this isn't actually a coincidence. When the nervous system is dysregulated and the body is nutrient depleted, our neurotransmitter production drops. We're talking serotonin, we're talking dopamine. These are important. And the chemistry that helps you focus and recall and feel emotionally stable, all of it requires raw materials the body is just no longer able to absorb efficiently. And here is where it becomes a cycle. The more fog you carry, the harder it is to make the decision that could support your recovery. And the harder those decisions are, the more depleted you become. It's important to really absorb the fact that this is not a character flaw. This is just basic physiology. Now, I want to name something that I just don't think gets said enough. The women I work with are not just physically tired, they're also grieving. They're grieving a version of themselves that they just can't quite find their way back to. The version who stepped into life with ease, who actually had something left at the end of the day. And on top of the fatigue, they carry something else. They carry the belief that they should be able to fix this on their own and get so frustrated that they're struggling to. That if I just tried harder, if I just slept better, if I just ate cleaner, then I'd feel like myself again. Does this sound familiar? That belief is actually costing them because it keeps them looking in the wrong direction. This is not a motivation problem. It is a physiology problem. And I believe that you deserve someone willing to look at this whole picture. So what does actually help? Well, it starts with the nervous system. Not with adding more to your routine, but with creating the conditions for your body to actually receive what it needs. That means we have to actually work with your stress response. We have to support nutrient absorption through gut health. And we have to stabilize the blood sugar. But most importantly, we have to identify the root cause pattern underneath the fatigue. We can't just keep chasing symptoms. And when the nervous system finally gets the signal, you're safe, then something shifts. Digestion starts to work. Nutrients begin to land. Energy returns. And our hormones begin to find their rhythm. Now, of course, this doesn't happen overnight, but in a sequence that makes sense in the right order for where your body actually is. You are not broken. You are adapted, and there's absolutely a way back to yourself. If this landed for you, I want you to do two things. First, leave a comment below and let me know. How long have you been feeling this way? You might be surprised how many women are sitting with the exact same thing and thinking they're the only one. Second, if you want to go deeper, I've linked the full blog post in the description. It includes the research, the framework, and an FAQ section that covers the questions that I hear about this most often. And if you are ready to stop guessing and actually understand what's happening in your body, click the link below to learn about working with us at Santosha Wellness. And I'm excited to see you in the next one.